I knew something was off the second my wife changed overnight. Lisa had never been the clingy type. She showed love in her own way. Small gestures, random texts, little things. But she wasn't the kind of woman to baby me. She never hovered. Never asked if I was eating enough, never insisted I wear a jacket when it was cold. She was chill, independent. Then one morning, I woke up to the smell of pancakes. Now, that might sound normal, but Lisa? She never made breakfast. She wasn't a morning person, and half the time she barely functioned until she had coffee. But there she was, standing by the stove, humming, flipping pancakes like some perfect housewife from a TV show. I rubbed my eyes. What's all this? She turned around, smiling way too wide. Good morning, baby. I made you breakfast. You need to eat more. You've been looking so tired lately. Okay. Weird. I sat down, and she practically shoved the plate in front of me. Eggs, bacon, pancakes, perfectly stacked. The whole setup looked straight out of a magazine. Lisa sat across from me, hands folded under her chin, staring, like, not casual staring. Her smile got even bigger. I don't know how to explain it, but the whole thing felt off. Like I had woken up in some weird alternate universe where Lisa had been replaced by some Stepford wife version of herself, and that was just the start. Over the next few days, she became too caring. At first, it was small stuff. She started waking up early just to make my coffee. She ironed my shirts, packed my lunch, texted me every hour to check in. If I so much as sneezed, she'd come running with a thermometer. It was sweet. Until it wasn't. One night, I woke up around 3 a.m. and nearly jumped out of my fucking skin. Lisa was sitting up in bed staring at me. What the fuck? I gasped, my heart nearly punching out of my chest. She didn't even flinch. You were breathing. Funny. What? You sounded different, she said, tilting her head. I was worried something was wrong. Oh, hell no. I let out a nervous laugh, trying to shake it off. Babe, I was just sleeping. Jesus, you scared the shit out of me. She didn't respond, just kept looking at me, her hands resting on the blanket like she was ready to grab me if I suddenly stopped breathing. I turned onto my side, facing away from her. Go back to sleep, okay? A long silence. Then, in a whisper so soft it made my skin crawl, I just don't want anything to happen to you. I didn't sleep after that, and it got worse. One evening I came home late, exhausted, ready to crash. But the second I stepped inside, something smelled off. The whole house reeked of cleaning supplies, that sharp, nose-burning scent of bleach. Lisa stood in the middle of the living room, wiping the coffee table. The floor looked wet. Hey, did you mop or something? I asked, dropping my keys. She turned, beaming. Yes, I wanted everything to be nice and clean for you. I looked around. The couch cushions were perfectly fluffed, the rugs spotless, the whole place scrubbed like a goddamn hospital. And then I noticed the stain, a deep dark red smear near the leg of the coffee table. My stomach twisted. Lisa, what the hell is that? Her smile didn't falter. Just a spill. A spill. It looked like fucking blood. I swallowed hard. From what? She cocked her head. Why are you asking so many questions? What the actual fuck? I forced a laugh, trying to keep my voice light. I mean, it's just kinda dark for a normal spill, you know? She took a slow step toward me. It's nothing. You should sit. You've had a long day. My gut screamed at me to press her, to ask again, but the way she was looking at me, so goddamn loving, so patient, made my skin crawl. I sat, and Lisa smiled again, picking up the cloth, rubbing at the stain with slow, patient strokes. That night, I locked the bedroom door, and still, I didn't sleep. Because Lisa lay beside me, her arms wrapped around me way too tight, her breath too steady against my skin. And every time I shifted, she whispered, I love you, over and over, like she was afraid to let me go. The next morning, I woke up feeling like I hadn't slept at all. Lisa was already up, sitting on the edge of the bed, brushing my hair with her fingers. "Morning, baby," she whispered. I flinched. "Jesus, Lisa!" She giggled and kissed my forehead. "You look so peaceful. I didn't want to wake you." I sat up, rubbing my face. "Babe, you gotta stop watching me sleep. It's creeping me out," she pouted, tilting her head. "Creeping you out? But I just love you." I sighed, shaking it off. "Forget it. I need coffee." I got up and headed for the bathroom. As I turned on the sink, something caught my eye. Lisa's hands. They were resting on the edge of the counter, her fingers lightly drumming against the surface. But it wasn't that. It was the nails, underneath them, dark red, the same deep color as the stain I saw last night. I swallowed hard. "Lisa? I forced my voice to stay steady. "What was that spill on the floor?" She didn't answer right away. Just watched me in the mirror with this soft, almost dreamy look, then she smiled. "It's nothing, baby. Just a mess." "Yeah, but what kind of mess?" Her fingers stopped drumming. She turned to face me fully, her smile never fading. "Why are you asking so many questions?" My stomach twisted. "Because I trailed off, forcing out a laugh. "I mean, come on, Lisa, it looked like blood." She giggled. Actually fucking giggled. "Don't be silly." I stared at her. She stared back. Neither of us moved. Then she reached for my hand, lacing her fingers through mine. "I don't like when you doubt me," she murmured. A shiver ran down my spine. I pulled my hand away, turned back to the sink, and splashed cold water on my face. I needed to stop overthinking. Maybe it wasn't blood. Maybe I was just tired. Maybe. That night, I woke up. Again, not because of a noise. Not because Lisa was watching me. Because I couldn't move. Lisa's arms were wrapped so tightly around me, pressing me into her chest. Her legs tangled with mine, locking me in place, and she was whispering again. "I love you. I love you. I love you." I could feel her breath against my ear, warm and steady, like she had been saying it for hours. My body tensed. "Lisa?" My voice barely came out. She didn't respond, just kept whispering. I tried to shift, to loosen her grip, but the moment I did, her arms tightened. My ribs ached from the pressure. "Lisa," I said, louder this time. Her whispering stopped. Silence. Then she exhaled against my skin, soft and slow. "Shh. Go back to sleep." Her grip loosened just a little. Just enough for me to breathe properly again. I didn't move, didn't push her away. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, my heart pounding. By the next day, I couldn't take it anymore. I needed space. At work, I took a break just to sit alone in my car, running my hands through my hair, trying to process everything. Lisa wasn't acting normal. I knew that. But how do you tell your wife she's creeping you the fuck out? "Hey babe, could you stop staring at me in my sleep and holding me like a fucking corpse?" Yeah. No. But the more I thought about it, the worse it got. Lisa had always been affectionate. Sure, but this was something else. It was like she wasn't just loving me, she was clinging to me. Like she was afraid I would disappear if she let go, and the blood, if it even was blood, was still in the back of my mind. I decided I'd bring it up again. This time, calmly, rationally. No weird jokes. But when I got home, Lisa wasn't in. The kitchen, or the living room, the house was dead silent. I swallowed hard. Lisa? Nothing. I walked through the hallway, my steps slow. The bedroom door was slightly open. I pushed it. Lisa was sitting on the bed holding something in her lap. A shirt, my shirt. It was covered in blood, My heart stopped. What the fuck? Lisa looked up at me, her eyes wide, teary, almost innocent. It's yours. I stared at her, my breath catching in my throat. She stroked the fabric with her fingers, so gentle, like she was cradling something fragile. I had to keep it, she whispered. I had to. It's a part of you. A chill ran through my whole body. I took a slow step forward. Lisa, where did you get that? Her eyes flickered to mine. Silence. Then she smiled and whispered, Shh. It's okay, baby. I'll take care of you. I took a step back. My skin crawled, my stomach twisted. Something was very, very wrong. I stood frozen in the doorway, my eyes locked on Lisa, my blood-stained shirt still cradled in her hands. Lisa, where did you get that? She didn't answer right away, just stroked the fabric, slow and gentle, like she was soothing a baby. Then, she looked up at me and smiled. I told you, it's yours. My throat was dry. That doesn't answer my fucking question, Lisa sighed, tilting her head. You don't remember? What? You were bleeding. A cold wave ran through me. The fuck are you talking about? She stood up, the bed creaking under her weight. My instincts screamed at me to step back, but I forced myself to stay put. You cut yourself, she said, her voice soft. It was an accident, but you bled, baby. A lot. I stared at her. Lisa, that never happened, she giggled. Oh, but it did. You just don't remember. My whole body went stiff. My hands curled into fists. Lisa listened to me. I have no cuts, no wounds, nothing. I yanked up my sleeves, showing her my arms. See? There's nothing. Lisa's smile didn't fade. If anything, it widened. Oh, I know, she whispered. My heart slammed against my ribs. I took another step back, my hands shaking. Lisa, where did that blood come from? She sighed again, like I was exhausting her. Then, before I could react, she lifted the shirt to her face and inhaled, deep, slow, like she was breathing in the fucking scent of it. I gagged. Jesus fucking Christ, she moaned. Actually fucking moaned. Smells just like you. My stomach flipped, my vision blurred. Lisa, put that down. She did. Slowly, carefully. Then she walked toward me, hands outstretched. You don't have to be scared, baby. I'll take care of you. I'll always take care of you. I backed up. Lisa, stop. Her smile twitched. Why are you acting like this? Because you're scaring the shit out of me. Silence. Lisa just stood there staring. Then her face fell. Oh, baby, I didn't mean to scare you. She took another step forward, but this time her hands trembled. Her eyes glistened with tears. I love you so much. More than anything. I don't ever want to lose you. Her voice cracked on the last word. For a second, just a second, I felt guilty. But then I saw the blood. The dark red stains smeared on her fingertips caked under her nails. And I knew. This wasn't just love. This was obsession. Something was wrong with Lisa. Very, very wrong. I didn't sleep that night. Not really. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, listening to Lisa breathe beside me. Every few minutes, she'd shift closer. And every time she did, I'd tense up. My mind wouldn't shut up. Where did the blood come from? What was she hiding? Why was she acting like this? At some point, I must have dozed off. Because the next thing I knew, I jolted awake to the feeling of something wet on my neck. My whole body seized. Lisa's lips were pressed against my skin, but it wasn't a kiss. She was licking me. I shoved her off. What the fuck, Lisa? She tumbled back, laughing. Oh, baby, don't be like that. I scrambled to sit up, my heart pounding. The fuck is wrong with you? She just smiled. I love you. I ran a hand down my face. Lisa, I swear to God, you're losing it. Her smile twitched. No, baby, I've found it. I shook my head, swinging my legs off the bed. I need some fucking air. I got up and bolted for the door. But before I could reach it, Lisa grabbed my wrist. Hard. "Wait," she said. I turned, ready to rip my arm away, but then I saw it. Her nails had dug into my skin. Deep. Blood welled up where she was gripping me. A slow, dark red drop trickled down my forearm. Lisa's whole body shivered. Then she leaned and fucking licked it. My stomach lurched. I ripped my arm away, stumbling backward. "What the fuck?" Lisa giggled, wiping her lips. You taste so good, baby." I ran. I didn't know where the fuck I was going, but I needed to get the, fuck away. I burst out of the bedroom, into the hallway, into the kitchen. My hands were shaking as I grabbed my phone, trying to think, trying to breathe. I needed to call someone. I needed help. But before I could even unlock the screen, Lisa's voice drifted from behind me. "Baby, where are you going?" I turned. She was standing at the end of the hallway, smiling, her hands covered in blood, and her eyes were hungry. I couldn't move. My legs locked up, my throat closed. Lisa stood at the end of the hallway, smiling, hands dripping with blood. I forced myself to swallow. "Lisa, what the fuck is going on?" She tilted her head. "I told you, baby. I'm taking care of you." My stomach twisted. "Taking care of me? Lisa, you're covered in fucking blood!" She looked down at her hands like she was just now noticing. Then she laughed, soft at first, then louder. It echoed through the hallway, bouncing off the walls. "Lisa, whose blood is that?" Her laughter stopped. Dead silence. Then she raised her hands and smeared the blood across her face. I gagged. "Jesus Christ." She licked her fingers, eyes fluttering shut. Don't you love how close we are, baby? How deep our love runs?" I stumbled backward, my brain screaming at me to run, to fucking run, but my body wouldn't listen. Then I saw it. Her other hand. She was clutching something. Something small. Something dark. I squinted, my breath catching. "Lisa, what's in your hand?" Her smile twitched. She lifted it, fingers peeling open. My stomach dropped. A fucking tooth. Not just any tooth, a human tooth. I shot forward, ready to snatch it from her hand. "Where the fuck did you get that?" Lisa stepped back, laughing. "Baby, why are you freaking out?" I grabbed her wrist, squeezing hard. "Where did you get it?" She giggled, eyes shining. "I told you, you don't remember." Something snapped in me. "Stop fucking saying that!" I yanked her hand, forcing her to drop the tooth. It clattered to the floor, and then I saw them. More. Tiny white pieces scattered across the hallway tiles. Teeth. My whole body turned to ice. "Lisa, what the fuck did you do?" She pouted. "You're acting like I'm crazy." I spun, eyes darting around the house. Where did these come from?" Lisa sighed. "Baby, you don't want to know." I bolted past her, my feet barely touching the floor. I ran to the bathroom, shoving the door open so hard it slammed against the wall. The smell hit me first. Metallic. Rancid. I gagged, my eyes burning. "Oh my God!" Then I saw it. The bathtub. It was full. Dark red water, pieces of something, floating on the surface. I choked back a scream. Lisa's voice whispered behind me. "Do you get it now?" I turned, my whole body trembling. Lisa stood in the doorway, her head tilted, her eyes glassy. "I love you," she whispered. I shook my head, stepping away from the tub. "Lisa, we need to get you help. Right fucking now." Her face twisted. "Help?" "Yes. You're sick. You need..." Her expression snapped, from soft to furious in a split second. "I'm not sick." My stomach clenched. "Lisa!" She lunged. I barely dodged in time. She crashed into the tub, blood sloshing onto the floor. I bolted, out of the bathroom, down the hall, toward the front door, but Lisa was fast. I heard her behind me, her bare feet slapping against the floor, her ragged breathing. I threw myself at the door, yanking it open, but before I could step outside, pain exploded in my shoulder. Lisa tackled me. We crashed to the floor. Her hands clawed at me, nails digging into my skin. "You can't leave!" she shrieked. I fought back, grabbing her wrists, trying to shove her off, but she was stronger than I expected, or maybe she was just desperate. Her fingers curled around my throat. She squeezed. I gasped, my vision going dark. Her face hovered over mine, wild and frantic. "I won't let you go, baby. Never! Never!" I threw my fist up, hit her square in the jaw. She yelped, loosening her grip just enough for me to shove her off. I scrambled to my feet, my chest heaving. Lisa lay on the floor, panting, eyes burning with rage. Then she smiled. "Baby," she whispered. "I love you so much. I'd do anything for you." I staggered back. "Lisa, you need help." She just giggled, tilting her head. Then she picked up one of the teeth from the floor and placed it in her mouth, biting down. My stomach lurched. "Jesus fucking Christ," Lisa moaned. That was it. I ran. I didn't look back. I didn't stop. I burst out of the house, into the cold night air, my lungs burning. I ran until my legs gave out, until my vision blurred, until the only thing I could hear was my own heartbeat. I don't know how long I was out there, hours maybe, but eventually I found help. The police. They went into the house, found the tub, the teeth, and Lisa curled up on the floor, smiling. She didn't fight, didn't scream. She just looked at me as they dragged her away and whispered, "I love you, baby. I'll always take care of you." Then she laughed and laughed and laughed, even as they locked her away, even as the door slammed shut. Even now, I can still hear it.